How do you cut off your work day? And how do you detach from your work? Have you been caught up yourself? Like you finished your work and then you got to your home, but you're still thinking about your work. And then you get frustrated because when you are at home, you don't want to think about your work and then you want to relax. But your work still stays on your mind. And as much as you try to relax, it chases you up. You try to relax, but as much as you try to relax, you get more stressed. And with that stress, your bedtime comes. And then when you are still stressed at your bedtime, it's not easy to fall asleep because you're still stressed. This is like a hamster. He's running so hard at his maximum speed, but he only burns his energy and nothing is moving forward. He might lose some weight, but you don't want to stay in this energy wheel forever. You want to move on to the next step. And if you put only your effort like this hamster, this is a trap. You only put so much energy and then you burn your energy and then you get tired. But with some specific actions, you can get out of this negative cycle like this hamster's wheel and reduce your stress, and then you can enjoy your downtime. If you carry your work stress to your personal life, it affects relationships too. Plus, holding your work stress is not good for your mental health either. So today, we will focus on relieving your work stress so you can relax in your downtime, and then you can build better relationships with your people, and then you can sleep better too. If you're sitting down to watch this video or listening to this video with your chores, or maybe you're sneaking around YouTube at your work, but you are at the right place. Today, I'm going to share 5 actions that you can relieve your stress and improve your sleep at night. There's one important thing that you want to be aware of. That is our emotions, thoughts, and behaviors. They are all connected, and it brings us the result. When you are in a negative cycle, it's so hard to get out unless you interrupt it. For example, you were stressed at your work and then you get home because you were so stressed, and then you want to take your time. You want to take time for yourself, but maybe you have family members at home, or maybe you have a partner at home. Then you get frustrated because you're tired. You want to take your time for yourself, but you have to deal with people. And then you're not ready to do it. You're not ready to talk to your family yet because you're still stressed, because you're still carrying your work stress. And then you might feel like, I can never get relaxed. And the emotion is going to be like angry, frustration. Then you might become quiet. You might refuse talking. This is not good for your relationship. And you might even feel like, I have to put up with. And after all, you get more stressed. And when you're stressed, you get into the negative cycle. We can do 3 things to interrupt this negative cycle. Number 1, add something to do to interrupt this cycle. Number 2, change your behavior. Number 3, change your mindset. Now I'm going to share 5 actions that you can do today. So try it for one day and observe how you're going to feel. Now let's talk about how you take your break at your work. When you take breaks when you work, your workflow is going to be smooth. When you don't take breaks, you get stressed and then you get tired. For example, the computer, when it's not working properly, it's going to be really, really slow because something wrong and we don't know what's wrong. And what we do, the action is to restart the computer. When we restart the computer, and it takes about maybe 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes or so. But if you take that time to reset, and then your computer is going to work properly after, and your workflow is going to be much more smooth. But if you don't take the time to reset your computer, and then you only push your work, you only push to work with a slow computer, it's gonna take forever to finish your work. Same for our minds. When we take breaks, our mind works properly. So when we work, we need to take breaks. There's 50 and a 10 rule. You can apply this to your work or study time. Or if you plan to provide a workshop, you can also implement this so you and your audience both stay focused. So what is 50 and a 10 rule? What you do is work for 15 minutes and then take a break for 10 minutes and then repeat this every hour. You might think like, I have to work, otherwise I'm gonna be behind. But remember the computer, take the small break and then restart your mind. And then your work is gonna be more productive. You can also reduce your stress by taking the small breaks. In that 10 minutes, you can do anything. If you're feeling productive, maybe you can pay bills, or you can create some meal plan for dinner, or you can check your upcoming schedule. If you're feeling energetic, maybe you can take a walk, or you can chat with your coworkers in the break room. If you're already tired and exhausted, maybe it's time to make some tea and coffee and have some snack. Or maybe you can take the 10 minutes to do your journal. By taking small breaks, you can prevent overwork and overloaded, so you can minimize your work stress. When you're not overstressed at your work, and then you can better enjoy your evening time. Now I'm gonna tell you the secret, how to reset your feelings and clear your mind and body. Because if you know how to reset your mind, that's win. Even though you had a bad day at your work, but you know how to reset your mind. So you're not gonna bring your stress to your home. This is very simple and anyone can do this. The action is to take a shower. Take a shower after your work. I finish my work at 5 and then I take a shower right away. And then I wash off everything from the day. It's not only about the germs, but wash off all the negative feelings, stress, and emotions and the thoughts, all drain into the drainer. Taking a shower is very simple but effective to cut off your day. Shower is all about your physical action. It feels so nice and then your muscle relaxes and it feels so good. And then you can smell your shampoo and the soap and then it's so good. And when you come out of your shower, you know that feeling. It's so refreshing. Your mind and body are ready to unwind. And you're gonna be ready to spend the time with your family and a partner. Your shower is like a switch from your work to your personal life. There's nothing to lose by knowing how to reset your mind. The shower, the action is about your self-care. You get clean, and then you get good feeling, you get refreshed. There's nothing to complain about shower. And the shower is good for your mental health too. Now we're gonna talk about how you end your work. Because we don't want to drag our work stress to your personal life. We end our work properly and then leave all the work stress at your work and then you don't bring it home. And this simple action influences your downtime a lot. I mean it. Your action here is close all the tabs when you finish your work or when you finish your computer. This is gonna be your new habit. I used to leave all the tabs open when I leave the computer, whenever, at the end of the day or middle of the day, because I thought like I would come back to the computer and then I didn't want to forget what I was doing. But I found it's actually not gonna work. Like when I leave all the tabs open, when I come back to the computer, I have new thoughts, I have new ideas, and then I want to start something, but all my past is still there when I open the computer. So I have to do something before I start my new ideas or my new work. I might have to close all the tabs and then I forget what I was gonna do. So this is something like distraction. So that's why it's better to close all the tabs when you finish your computer. You close your tabs before you go eat lunch. And you close all the tabs definitely when you finish your work at the end of a day because you want to end your work. When you get this action to your habit, you're not gonna drag your past anymore. Your past is gonna be in the past. It's not gonna come to your present life. And when you do the next step, when you do the next work, your past is in the past. Your past is not in front of you. So you can start from your present moment. You can deal with your present moment. So you can focus on your work when you come back to the computer. To leave your past to the past, and you need that action. Close the tabs. If you don't want to forget something, and instead of leaving all the tabs open, just take some notes. So you can remember, you're not gonna forget something important. You can always come back to your work whenever you're ready. But you don't want to see all the past when you want to start something new. The other key to relieve your work stress is it's on your way home. You know that moment you are going to do something, but someone talked to you, so you got interrupted, and then you forgot what you were going to do. It's like this, like you want to interrupt your mind. Your work is on your mind after your work, but you don't need it. You don't need to think about your work when you are in your personal life. So you want to interrupt your mind, so you will forget about your work. The action here is to listen to your favorite music or podcast on your way home. It must be something that you really like or you enjoy listening to it. When you enjoy listening to it, you're going to immerse yourself. Your mind is going to leave your work, and your mind is going to get into your music or into the podcast. And then it's kind of rare that you get stressed when you listen to a favorite music or podcast. If you live in a noisy city, and then you might get stressed when you try to listen to the music. There's so much noise around yourself, and then you can't listen to your music or podcast. That's frustrating. So if that case, music and podcast are not something you do. But instead, you can take a walk. Maybe you can stop by a park before you go home and just look around. Listen to whatever you hear. Maybe people, maybe the trains, or maybe the cars, or maybe some birds, or maybe wind. Nature is a natural remedy. You can even take some pictures when you stop by a park. The point is the action. One single action to interrupt your mind from your work to your home. So between your home to your work, you do something that you immerse yourself something. That's something you enjoy. And that's going to interrupt your mind. And then your mind is interrupt. And then your work is going to be behind. Your work is going to be in the past for the day. When you interrupt your mind, it's going to change your feelings, your emotions, and your thoughts. And then when your emotions and thoughts are changed in a good way, your action is going to change as well. And when your action changes, you influence people differently. So, what's your plan after your work today? Now we have talked about things that you can do after your work before you get home. Now we're gonna talk about the actions that you can do at your home. Life happens, even if you left your work stress at your work or before on the way you're home, but stress is always around us. We live with the stress. So stress happens when you got home too. And then you want to know how to control your negative feelings. Your negative feelings, it affects your thoughts and actions. They're all connected. So if you know how to control the emotions, you can control their thoughts and behavior as well. And then you can avoid the worst scenario. This is called 5 seconds rule. When you're upset, you count from number 5 to 1. It's like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And this action interrupts your emotions. For example, when you got home from your work, you open the door and then right there, you see some dirty socks on the floor. And that's not a happy moment. So you got home and then you feel like upset, frustrating. You want to relax, but someone's dirty socks on the floor. And when you get upset, You might nag your family members. So whenever you quote your negative feelings, like negative emotions, take a time, remind yourself to count. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And feel the difference. It doesn't mean your family members can leave the dirty socks on the floor and rely on you to work. You might feel like, I'm putting up with. And when you think like, I'm putting up with something, it's not a healthy thoughts. So whenever you get the feeling like I'm putting up with, is this going to improve the relationship? By picking up the socks, is it going to help the relationship with my family? If the answer is yes, it's not a putting up feeling anymore. It's helping. It's helping, and helping means love, and you care about your family. And when you feel love, it's a good feeling, and it's healthy. But if it doesn't apply to the answer yes, and then you don't think this is about helping, and it interferes your boundary, and that's the time that you need to bring up to discuss with your family. But remember, you need one action before you talk to your family. Just take a moment and count. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then you can reset your emotions. Without the negative emotions, you get better outcomes. And when you know how to control your emotions, you can minimize your stress too. And you can do this at your work too. When something went the wrong way, before you say anything, just take a moment and count. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So you reset your emotions. And without the negative emotions, you can deal with the situation much better. We have talked about how to minimize our stress, our work stress. Because when we relieve our stress, we can get better sleep. It improves our immune system. It improves our overall well-being. The key is, we don't bring the past to the present moment. We leave the past in the past. We don't need it. So if you got the stress at work, leave the stress at your work. You don't have to bring it to your personal life. It doesn't mean you neglect your work. But you can deal with your work when you go back to your work at your appropriate time. But in your personal time, at home, in your downtime, it's not the right time to deal with the stress. So you don't have to think about it. And if something happened when you got home in your living room, and then you leave the stress in your living room, and then you don't bring it to your bedroom, because your bedroom is a place to relax and sleep. You don't need anything from the past. When you're in a bedroom, all what you do is relax and sleep. You don't need anything from the past. Your sleep is important for your mental and physical health. Now you learned how to control your stress and enjoy your downtime so you get better sleep. But this is very important. Even though with all the knowledge and the techniques, there are so many people still struggling with sleep and stress. The difference between those who success in struggling is the action. Those who success, when they learn something, they put it into the action. But the random action doesn't help. You might get a wrong instruction. So you need a right roadmap. When you have a right roadmap, you can get to the destination. You might take a wrong turn, but with a right roadmap, you might make a mistake, but you know how to fix it. And again, only with a roadmap, you can still not get to the destination. It's like when someone tells you how to get to the place, and then you're like, oh, thank you for telling me. And then, okay, now I know how to get there. And then you're like, but if you don't put that into your action, if you don't drive, you will never get to the destination. All you need is to get the right roadmap and your action, and you can get to the destination. Because sleep is so crucial for our mental health and physical health. I created a worksheet that you can learn how many hours your body wants to sleep, along with a roadmap to improve your sleep quality. When you get adequate sleep, you wake up with energy, and then you can tackle your day. With a worksheet and a roadmap, you know what action you need to take. Plus, you can achieve your goal in shorter time. I put the link into the description below, so check it out. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Hope it helped. Good luck with your work stress and sleep. Take care and have sweet dreams. Bye.